Welcome back, brethren. Today's June 19th, a day we celebrate as Juneteenth. It's a day of freedom. Are you freeing yourself from something in your life today? I know I did, and I'm very thankful that I did. Today I want to show you something that shows us that who we are in the Most High. Although I read from the Holy Bible in its original order, a New English translation, and it does reference the name of Yahuwah as God. However, I do not use it as God. His name is Yah. His name is Yahuwah. His name is Almighty. His name is Most High. His name is Alpha. His name is Omega. His name is I Am. I'm going to call your attention to Genesis 1. Let's go back to the beginning, okay? Now that I have your attention, I want to point something out first. The first book of Moses is called Genesis. How? If Moses was not alive when Genesis was wrote. So we know that Moses was transitioned. He was given this information in the presence of our Father. Okay? So let's say this. Just imagine being in the presence of our Father, and He's giving you what happened before you. And He's showing you and He's telling you who He is. How blessed Moses must have felt just receiving this information. Now let's go to Genesis 1. In the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. For those of you who call him the man upstairs, he's not the man upstairs. Yahuwah is not a man. He's a spirit. It tells us right here in Genesis 2. The Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. Give him his respect. Place his title where it needs to be. He's a spirit. And that same spirit lives within you. But you're going to learn that in just a minute, okay? Verse 4. And verse 3. My apologies. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. And I'm going to stop right there for a minute, okay? Now let's read that again. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. Now, my very own opinion, I believe that L should have been capitalized. Because this is when the Father spoke Yeshua into existence. Okay? And Yah said, let there be light. Now I'm going to turn your attention to John 1 for proof. The Gospel according to John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. He was in the beginning with Yah. All things came into being through him, and not even one thing that was created came into being without him. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Pause. Let me call your attention to Isaiah 44:24. Thus says the Elohim, your Redeemer, and he who formed you from the womb. I am the Most High, who makes all things who stretches out the heavens alone, who spreads abroad the earth by myself. Let's turn your attention to Hebrews. We're going to read from 1 through 3. Verse 1 says, Yah, who spoke to the fathers at different times in the past, and in many ways by the prophets, has spoken to us in these last days by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, who, being the brightness of his glory and his exact image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his own power, when he had by himself purged our sins, and sat down at the right hand of the majesty on high. Now let's call your attention back to Genesis. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. What do you think? Are you following me? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to start over? Let me know what you think. Because I want to know if I'm the only one who thinks that Yeshua came into existence in verse 3. Let there be light, and there was light. So let's capitalize that L. Some versions do capitalize the L, I must admit. For whatever reason, this version doesn't. I wish that it did, and I wish that they would not use God, that they would use Yahuwah as a reference, okay? Let's move on to verse 4. And Yah saw that the light was good, and Yah divided between the light and the darkness. Can we say heaven and hell? Can we say heaven and hell? Verse 5. And Yah called the light day, and he called the darkness night. And the evening and the morning were day 1. And now we do know, because John just told us that all was made, created through the Messiah. All was created through the Messiah, who is one with the Father, who was with the Father, who is the Father. So the world was created and all things came into existence through the Messiah. As he states when he speaks his parable, when he speaks, I am the light of the world, is what Yeshua tells us. No one goes to the Father except through him. He is the light. Do I believe that heaven is above? Where you see the clouds? No, I do not believe that heaven is above them. Heaven is a dimension that we cannot see until we've seen the glory. I want you to see something. You see how that rain cloud is moving in, and how dark it is on one side and how light it is on another? And when we see lightning, do you believe that it's coming from space? I don't. Because they claim to be going to the moon. So are they passing heaven when they supposedly going to the moon. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't believe it. It's just not something that I want to believe. Again, you know your government. They can create some things. They do it all the time in movies. So what makes you think that you have not been deceived? You've already been robbed to know who you are and who you aren't. So what makes you think that they place something so that you can believe what they say? I'm tired of believing what they say. I want to know for myself. And if I want to know for myself, then let me teach one. And I won't go too fast. I won't make this a long video because I want someone to be able to understand what I'm saying and what I'm grasping. And please feel free to correct me. Always feel free to correct me. I will provide my email address. You can always email me. If you want to have a conversation, I'm open for it. Let's do that because, again, I too am still learning. You're never too old to learn. With age comes wisdom, they tell me. And years ago, you couldn't have told me that I would be sitting here doing this because it wasn't who I was. But who I was always a lie to myself. Because I am who I am, because who I am is a replication of the spirit of my Father, Yahuwah. There is a royalty to me because I come from a king, from the Most High. So now I can reference command number 1, thou shalt not have no other God before me. Did you know that you are a God? You come from the Most High, whose title is a God. He's the big G. You're the lowercase g. There is a God in you. You are a God. You are royalty. So you shall not have nothing or no one before him. Not your spouse, not your kids, not your money, not your home, not your royalties, but him. You put nothing before him. You give him his glory for what you have and for who you are. What you don't have, you still bless him for because it's all materialistic. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Understand, people, we were put here to serve. We were put here for a purpose, but that's another casting. Now I'm going to jump back into Genesis because I can do this all day. But as I stated, I wanted to try to keep this video under 15 minutes, but I also wanted you to understand that in the beginning, so Yah used Moses to tell this story. Why? Because he wanted us to know. We needed to know who was there in the beginning, where the Messiah came from, because most people don't believe that, believe in him. I believe with my heart and I confess with my tongue that Yeshua is Elohim, and he will come again and judge his people. So we know that the world is surrounded by water. This earth is surrounded by water. The flat earth that we live on is surrounded by water. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm a flatter. Okay, I don't believe that this world is round. Hey, I stand on it, and that's what I believe in. So until my spirit rests in eternity and I'm able to be resurrected so that I can see that, then hey, I'm standing on it. It's flat, and there is water under the earth. There is water. I believe that the earth is held up on mountains. Why do you say that? Because that's the one thing. That is the one thing in the Bible that still stands to this day are the mountains. The mountains cover the whole earth. It was the mountains, people. That's what I believe. That's what I'm standing on. Your belief is your belief. Let's talk about it. So we're going to go to verse 8. I'm sorry. Verse 6. And Yah said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So how do you divide water from waters, people? So we know that earthquakes are caused by what? The earth shaking. Which means that the earth would have to be sitting on something in order to be shaken. So what's under the bottom of the oceans? Mountains. Again, bring me back to those mountains. The water. So we want to believe and we want to say certain things, but let's get to the bottom of it. Earthquakes. It's shaking. It's a shaking. It's a shaking. Water don't shake unless it's erupted by something, right? Tsunamis, another thing. So what can be the foundation of this world? Again, I stand on the mountains. I stand on the mountains. And I look high and I look low. Remember, that's where the Most High met Moses. On the top of a mountain. You following me, people? Now let's get to verse 7. And Yah made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And Yah called the firmament heavens. Now this was day 2. And I'm going to stop right there on day 2. Because I want you to just think about what I just provided you. The information that I just provided you. Just think about it. Are you ready to go to the highest mountain? Are you ready to step up to that mountain and be blessed? Be dipped in that water and be blessed to make it to that mountain. And I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you guys for having a moment with me. Have a great day. Until next time.